I mean, it's not. I don't find it boring, but there's nothing to do other than dodge.
Alright, the first major mech is just this hot potato. Keep this skull away from the red ghost at all costs. If it touches the red ghost, it'll blow up the whole map. If somebody's holding it and the red ghost catches up to you, it'll blow up a giant AoE. Usually use a stealth row before picking it up. If you're a Reaper, you can also go invisible before you pick it up as well.
It's supposed to be swapped in another.
For those dropping the green puddles, make sure you put it out onto the edges, away from the skull bearers, and don't put it in their path. Remember where you place them, because they do show up again on the second time when you have to do this mech at a later point in the fight.
What's this red thing? Am I gonna die?
Go. Oi, go. Oh,
Wait, why was there a puddle placed in front of me? Oh god, I'm dead.
because you put it there.
No, it's in front of me.
The laser beams and 2 green circles is usually very dangerous and can kill people instantly. If you have a green AoE, it's preferred to ping where you are so that people know where you are on the minimap so that they can adjust accordingly. Otherwise it can get very messy.
What's my circle thing?
Come here.
The 2 green AoEs are just giant AoEs. They do not cover the whole map depending on where they're placed. This is the lantern mech. The whole map goes dark. Generally, I like to press Alt X 3 times to clear the UI, just so that when you're learning, you have better visual clarity to understand what is happening. What you want to do is spot for the green flash on the skulls that are hovering around Akkan, depending on its left side or its right side. If it flashes on that side, do not run that direction. The shadow will be going in the opposite direction. The sequence of turn will always be, if it starts with 180 degrees, it will always be 180 degrees back to the original spot, so it's only 2 steps. How you'll know it's 180 degrees is that if the shadow turns towards where the green skull was like early on, it might whip around right away to 180. Usually, Akkan does a maximum of 2 or 3 sequences during the lantern here.
Why did we not fail like the easy one, but then like,
That's 3 pulse pizza. Remember this visual because in gate 3 it's very useful to know what it looks like and where the safe zone is, because this will be applicable for a rotating pizza in gate 3. It's no longer stationary in that. Some more lantern just for familiarity.
We've actually got that perfect. It's that.
yeah, it does. Because then you think it's the same on the next one, and it's like, nah, this completely fucks it.
Yeah.
This is the second skull hot potato. The green puddles will respawn where you started. In this footage it shows me getting disease. Usually ping if you're about to get disease because it can be very dangerous. Definitely save your teammates, shield them or whatever, or charm them if they are about to get maxed out.
I'm about to chuck it.
There is a red eye that's being constantly passed around people in this entire raid. It goes to the closest person and starts growing about 1/3 of the entire green meter bar. The only way to lower it is through Anana. So you do want to try and pick up the red eyeball from somebody if you have no meter. If you're near max meter, you should stay away from the person with the red eyeball.
Q.
Q.
Oh, never mind. I thought I had it.
I think soon. 1 second. Nice.
Can I get clear?
Yep, done. Yeah.
These red ion lasers are pretty BS. I don't really know how to dodge their spawn, but obviously don't stand in the red hallways because they hurt a lot.
He's going to the middle.
Although you have to watch this one.
The end phase here is about a 100 point destruction check. Thyrane will remove about 25 to 30 points of destruction. I'm not entirely certain on the exact number. Usually 2 Thyranes is enough to complete the entire destruction check, including like players throwing destruction bombs and their skills, but in this situation here, we had 2 Thyranes and it still wasn't enough to clear it, so I do believe Thyrane is somewhere probably under 30 points. So it's probably closer to like 25 or 27 or something like that. You do need to make about 100 points of destruction in order to break Akkan down here, otherwise he just wipes the party. You have approximately 1 minute and 5 seconds to do this when this mechanic starts. Usually if your team has classes that don't have a lot of destruction points at all, you want to focus on catching all the counters as much as possible because they're worth about 10 destruction points each, because it fills up about 1/3 of the sidereal bar each one, so you do not want to miss counters. And upon succeeding the counter, it also refreshes your skills too, so those with like no destructions should definitely counter because you get your actual destruction skills refreshed back up again. And once you finish that, that's pretty much the end of gate 2.